Thanks for joining us. Today on Ruffles and Rain Boots, we are partnered up with Stencil Revolution to bring you a stencil bag and Nativity story stone set. For all of the supplies, as always, click the link in the description box below. There's a couple of tips in that article as well for you. First things first, we're going to clip our stencil to our project, and we're going to mix up a set of ombre paints. Now, if you don't know how to do that, just start with your original color in one well. The next well, add the color and white, and so on, adding more white to get the lighter color. And speaking of the lighter color, I'm actually starting with that first. And notice how I'm pressing down on the stencil and stippling. Now, this is not some fancy stencil brush. I didn't have one that small, so what I'm using is a stiff bristled paintbrush. That's it. It's going to allow you to get into any detail of a stencil. So, next up, we're using a medium color green here, and I'm just dabbing off a little bit of that color onto my gloves because you don't want a lot of paint, because what would happen if you dump a lot of paint onto a project is it's going to seep under your stencil. And because what we're trying to do is get all of the detail in the wise men and the animals and certainly baby Jesus, we want to make sure that we don't add a lot of paint. So I'm just taking off a little bit and pulling from the paint on my gloves. Okay, so we're going to continue, and on the last row, we're going to use our darkest green, and we're just going to start at the bottom and bring it up. Now, one of the tips I can give you for working with stencils is to, if you can, move your project around, because it's going to allow you to really see. Like, there were so many places I missed with the legs in these animals. So what I do is I just move my project around, and I can fill in the other side of it without missing a beat. And once it's all filled in, while it's still wet, I remove this stencil and then let the project dry. Look at this. How cute is this? You need no explanation as to what this is. And now we're going to move on to our cheater story stones. So I used clip art because I'm not very good at drawing people. So what I did is use the clip art, add a little Mod Podge, press down to make them stick, and then add a Mod Podge coating above it, on top of it I mean, so that it sticks down and it's protected. And then once that's dry, all I did was add another coat of Mod Podge to seal that, because these are going to kids and I didn't want to use something strong like polyurethane. And you're done with your story stones. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out stencilrevolution.com.